Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and in today's video we'll be taking a look at one of the cheapest mechanical keyboards in the UK right now. This is the Sumvision Acies. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we'll be taking a look at a cheapo mechanical keyboard from Sumvision. This is the Acies. I don't know what that means. I've never heard of the word before and potentially will never ever again, but if you know what it is, let us know in the comments. That's always nice to know. But with that aside, let's take a look at this keyboard. Now this keyboard at the moment in the UK retails for around about the £25 to £30 mark, which actually for a fully mechanical, full rollover keyboard is actually not a bad value for money, especially when you've got a splash of RGB. It's not bad at all. It uses Cherry MX stems, so if you want to, you can change out the keycaps, etc. It has blue switches on there, so it's going to annoy pretty much everybody in the room with you. And it does all that for less than 30 quid, so can't be too bad. It's also a 10 keyless design, so it's going to be slightly compact, so if you've got limited room, it's going to be absolutely fine on your desk space. And in today's video, we go through, do an unboxing, plug it into the software. Yes, you can actually control it in software with macros and change key layouts, etc, etc. We'll be going through all of that, and then at the end I will come back with my final thoughts and see if it's worth recommending or not. So first of all, let's take a look at the packaging. So as you can see, this is from Sumvision. We did actually a review on the kind of matching mouse to go with this, which you can check out up here. This keyboard was actually recommended to us by Ugly Bob on the Discord, and I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. I got the mouse as well to go with it, so I did the mouse review first for some bizarre reason, and we've finally got round to doing the keyboard. So if this all horribly wrong, then Bob's to blame. So some of the features, so we've got PC software control, obviously you've got a 10 keyless design, you've got 10 custom lighting profiles, you've also got blue mechanical switches. Now it doesn't say what manufacturer the blue mechanical switches are. They do feel very much like Otomuse, but to be honest with you, they may not be. They may be clones of Otomuse even, who knows, but you can have a listen and see what they look like a little bit later in the video. Also there's 22 lighting effects, which, yeah, that's a little bit confusing. Basically the 10 lighting profiles are ones you can set on the keys along the top, and the 22 lighting effects are the kind of usual kind of RGB effects. Now this, straight out of the gate, isn't true RGB. It's basically fixed lighting. So the top row is green, next row down is blue, next row is red, then you've got white, and then you've got like a pinky mauve colour. So you don't get per key lighting, it's basically per line lighting, but with some of the effects it actually does emulate an RGB keyboard relatively well. Also, you've got anti-ghost keys, so full N key rollover, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can program macros, etc. And like I said, you've got the blue mechanical switches. On the back, it goes into a little bit more detail. Basically, got the full stuff there, so full LED brightness and speed adjustment, 22 LED types, 10 custom macro light settings, 100% anti-ghosting, N key rollover, full mechanical blue switch, 50 million keystrokes per switch. Not going to test that for sure. Fast access to multimedia functions, etc. You get the general idea. It's a keyboard. Dimensions are probably going to be one of those things which are quite important. So dimensions of this is 365mm by 141mm by 38.6mm. That's the length by width by height. Compatible with Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. It doesn't have any compatibility with Mac, etc, etc, but if you want to, you can plug it in. It will work as a standard keyboard, but obviously the software you will not be able to use. Just of note, while we're looking at this, there is also support for kind of Xbox, PlayStation, etc, anything that supports a USB input effectively. But another important thing is the software that comes with this keyboard. There's actually two versions of this keyboard out on the market, and depending on which serial number you've got is depending which piece of software you actually need. I've pre-installed it already on my laptop, so I know which one it is, but there is a warning actually on the website. So if you do get one type of software and it doesn't work with your keyboard, or it's behaving a little bit weirdly, that is down to the fact that there's two pieces of software. So take a look at your serial number and you'll definitely get the right one. We'll put some links in the video description for the actual software. Pretty straightforward. It's basically sumvision.com/peripherals, then look at the keyboard, and it's actually in the keyboard description. So let's take a look and see what we actually get for our hard-earned approximately £25. I think I personally paid for this. The price on this does fluctuate quite a lot, so yeah, we'll put some links in the video description, check out and see what the prices are currently like in your region. This actually is a UK region one. Whether or not they do them for the US, etc, I'm not entirely sure. This does appear to be rather UK centric currently. But anyway, in the box, so you get your kind of installation guide and all that kind of usual stuff. Tells you what all the keys do, so that's sort of thing actually quite handy. Keep underneath the keyboard, just if you need reference and you're not too sure, the muscle memory is not working as it should. But yeah, goes through and tells you how to control the media keys, etc. On the back, gives you some more information about the various features. Also, if things are getting a little bit too much for you, then there is a support option available from Sumvision, so you can have online free chat support. There's a QR code and obviously web addresses, etc. So yeah, you can take a look at that at your leisure. So let's take a look at the actual keyboard itself. Well, there you go, there is the keyboard itself. Yeah, it's basically a black blob on the screen at the moment, but we'll do some close-ups so you can see what it's actually like. It's actually pretty heavy as well. It's about a kilo in weight. I think it's a 0.95 to be exact, but yeah, about a kilo roughly. You've got a nice braided cable, which actually terminates in a gold-plated connector, or kind of semi-gold. It looks like it's tarnished a little bit. So yeah, it's kind of somewhere between silver and gold, but effectively it's gold-plated. Nice braided cable, 1.5 meters in length. Keyboard itself, yeah, again, pretty heavy, pretty sturdy. The top deck of the keyboard actually is all metal. The base, very much plastic. You do have options for cable routing, so you can, if you want to, route the cable straight out the back, or you can offset it to one of the sides. Also, you've got full rubber keys and support, so you've got the rubber there, and there. So if you're having it in the flat position, then fully stable on the desktop surface. But if you decide to adjust the rake a little bit and have it raised, flip out the feet, and they have also got rubber bits on them as well to, again, keep it nice and steady on the desktop surface. Absolutely perfect. So, looking at the keys themselves, again, really nice actual layout. The layout to me looks absolutely fine. The legend on the keys, really, really good. Very clear, very crisp. Even without the lighting on, you can see very clearly what the individual keys are, etc. You can, if you want to, you can change the keycaps. They are double shot keys with MX stems on there, so again, if you want to change them for something else, you can do quite easily. And then you can see we've got the blue mechanical switch, which we'll do some close-ups of as well. Blue switches are going to be a little bit on the annoying side for some people. There's a very tactile and very audible bump, which hopefully you can hear pretty well. Not too bad at all. When you put the keycap on, obviously that is going to change the noise profile somewhat. Very, very different with the keycaps on. There is a little bit of wiggle to the actual keys on the stem, a little bit of sideways movement rotationally, but actually forward and back and left and right. Left and right is a little bit on the loose side, up and down is absolutely fine, but yeah, there is a little bit of wobble to the keys. But I find this key spacing to be very, very nice. It's for me with my sausage fingers, very, very tactile. It just feels really nice. I've had a lot of keyboards, and normally I go for kind of, I do like the red switches, the linear ones. I particularly like on the Strike keyboard from GameMax, which you can check out up here. That was really good. Other than that, it's Cherry MX browns. They generally tend to be kind of like the go for. If you're in a room where it's not going to annoy people, the blues are actually really nice because it's got a real kind of typewritery feel to it. But they are pretty loud. There's actually, because they're quite loud, you don't hear any of the flex or like a reverb in the deck. Actually, there's hardly any, so that's really good. There's none of that kind of springy reflex which you get with some keyboards, which is awesome. So yeah, let's plug it in and see what the lighting is like. So you can do a little bit of cable management. There is a Velcro strap on here, and again, you've got a nice long cable. Let's plug this in, and when you plug it in, as you can probably see on the overhead camera we've got set up, you can see the lighting style. So this is one that I've chosen already and have been using, the kind of raindrop effect. You can go through and change the keyboard layout as you see fit. In order to do that, there's a function button, so that is basically your master key, so use that in conjunction with the others to change the functions. So function Windows key locks out the Windows key if you want to lock out your Windows key for gaming purposes. Also, if you want to use the keys in their function style, So you've got F1 through to F12, which all have functions. So function F12 brings up your calculator, all that kind of stuff. And if I minimize my OBS window, you can see that's come up there. So yeah, that is YouTube's earnings this year. So yeah, really good. Does what it needs to do. It's a nice keyboard. I really like the feel of it. You've also got things like obviously function and volume up and down, all those kind of usual things you're used to seeing. Music, play, fast forward, open your email, homepage, my computer, F11. Okay, yeah, pretty decent stuff. I'm somewhat of a purist. I would prefer to see multimedia keys as separate keys. For me, I much prefer that, and I know certainly Kath does as well. She does love to have a separate calculator key and volume up and down keys. Those, I think, for a lot of people can be a deal breaker. So if you do need those, then obviously, yeah, this isn't going to be for you. But if you do want to save a ton of money and you want a mechanical keyboard with blue switches and you want it to be compact but with decent sized keys so you can actually type on it, I think this is actually pretty much a winner. We'll take a quick look at some of the lighting profiles. So if you press function and A1, that is the primary one. This is what you'll get when it comes straight out of the box. Press it again and you get a kind of like half lit side. Press again, turns it off, and then goes into like the fade mode. Yeah, pretty decent. You can speed up or change the effect. So that's down, that's up. Some modes you can't change the speed, so obviously do be wary of that. Brightness is adjustable on the up and down buttons, so function, and there's a few levels there, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 levels of brightness there. It does double flash when you've reached the end of what you can actually change, so yeah, it's pretty good. F2, you've got these kind of things, which is going to annoy my computer, so I'll turn that off a second. So yeah, some quite nice key look. I like how that one kind of goes outward and then it meets in with the others. Again, it is fixed lighting, so the kind of, it's nice that the lights actually do reflect off the other keys, so depending on which angle you're on, if I press number 4, you can see the red at the top and then the green from below actually reflects onto the top of the keys. Maybe if I angle that up a bit. It looks like it's more colourful than it actually is, which is pretty decent. So yeah, other options, so per key lighting sort of thing. And then you've got the lines. It's pretty much the usual deal that you expect to see on these kind of keyboards. So loads and loads of baked in lighting styles that you can go through. This is quite a nice one, almost like a snake effect, I guess you'd call it. Again, you can change the brightness and the speed of that should you wish to. There's the waveform type thing. Again, all this can be changed in the software if you want to, if you can't remember the keystrokes. F4, you can change that. You can actually change the direction of this as well. So if you press function and press the arrow button, it'll go that way. Press it again that way, it'll go that way. You get the kind of general idea. You can actually speed them up as well using those buttons there. So plus and minus does your speeds. So put it on the slowest speed and it's just a gentle kind of gradual change, or speed it right up and it's kind of nausea inducing. So yeah, it's all really good, like all that kind of stuff. Essentially, pretty much, yeah, it's what you'd expect to see. I personally, again, I like the Legend. The keyboard Legend for me is great. Hopefully you can see it from the overhead camera and see what it looks like. It's great to see a keyboard, again, with the UK layout, which is not that common these days. The American keyboards do seem to be getting more and more popular, but for us, using obviously the pound sign, etc., and our enter key is considerably different. So yeah, there is that to it. Nice again, you can change the keys if you wanted to. Pretty decent. So let's open up the software and we'll have a quick look at that. We did have a little bit of an error there where this for some reason didn't recognize the keyboard, so I unplugged it, plugged it back in, it's absolutely fine. So there you can see you've got the Sumvision Acies. This is pretty much, again, very similar to kind of like the Techware and a lot of those other companies, so they all use relatively similar software. You've got the polling, so you can choose 1000 Hertz, 50 Hertz, 250, 125, etc. Lighting you can go into, and you can choose brightness and your speed, etc., or your actual lighting style. Actually, can you on there? I don't think you can. No, you can change the directions, that sort of thing, so you can make minor changes to the RGB in there. But yeah, pretty decent. You can set your own profiles, so if you want to set the individual profiles for those buttons, again, you can do that, record macros. It's not the most fully functioning piece of software in the world, definitely. Probably I would not bother even install it, because literally everything you need to do, you can do from the actual function keys anyway. The software itself isn't the easiest to install. You do have to kind of go through some hoops to actually, first of all, get it from the site, obviously working out which keyboard you've got. And also there is an issue where the software doesn't actually install. It comes up with a kind of virusy type warning, which is quite common again with these type of keyboard drivers and software drivers. Very often you get those unless they're actually signed software, which is quite rare these days, especially for some of these cheaper models, as we said. So overall, actually, yeah, for 25 quid, I think this is fantastic value for money. Combining it with the Sumvision Acies X mouse as well, which is again around about 24 to maybe 30 pounds. So between 50 and 60 pounds for a decent mechanical keyboard and mouse setup with that PixArt sensor and all that kind of stuff. For gamers, absolutely great. For typists, again, if you like the clicky feel, it's going to be great for you. I think for most people, if you're going to get this as a present, maybe a back to school present for those of us in the UK, kids playing on a new computer or something, get themselves a nice mechanical keyboard and mouse, and it should last a pretty long time, especially with those 50 million keystrokes, which again, we won't be testing in this review. So this has been the Sumvision Acies. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. Please do let us know what you think of this in the comment section, because it is really important to us to get feedback from you guys. Is this the sort of thing we should be looking at, budget-based equipment for us tech heads, or would you like to see something a little bit more expensive in the pipeline? Do let us know. But anyway, I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.